Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Bill Martinez Live. A program about current events, our culture, our values, our politics, and our future. And now, Bill Martinez.
Yeah, it's all those things that are most important to us, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're talking about, and we're bringing the experts on so that we get it out of the realm of opinion, okay? Let's get the facts. Let's pursue the truth, no matter where it leads us. And this is why right now, for example, we got John Whitehead with us. John is a constitutional attorney, an author, founder, and president of the Rutherford Institute, author of Battlefield America, The War on the American People. John, always good to have you with us. How you doing, sir?
Hey, fine, Bill. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing terrific. I'm like you. You've been warning about this for a long time. And here it is, for the sake of people within our government who just absolutely hate Donald Trump, and to the point, it's almost like they hate our democracy as well, because all that's tossed aside. David Horowitz this morning talked about it's not about a policy fight. It's about ideology. I mean, are we setting ourselves up for a civil war here, John?
Oh, I think, I would call it civil unrest. In fact, I would say my column this week, people should go, it's called Coming Soon to a City Near You. The U.S. military plans to take over America.
Right.
I don't know if you saw that, but there's a 5-minute video the Pentagon has issued saying that by 2030 they're going to be taking over the major cities. They see breakdown coming. So it's almost as if, I'm not saying they're wishing for it in some realms of government, but they're predicting it and they're training for it.
Yeah,
so,
and what is the rest of the government doing? Yeah, and what's the rest of the government, John, doing in order to halt that? If anything, they seem to be exacerbating.
They seem to be pushing to do it. Yeah,
exactly.
So I would say go to our website Rutherford.org, and you can actually download the video, watch it. It's 5 minutes long. It was done by supposedly an anonymous director. He will not say who he is, but it's definitely a Hollywood director. So it's really well done, but it presents the picture of Americans as crazy, out of control, and they're going to take over the major cities, and they're also predicting economic breakdown in the country. So if there's any time I'm telling you right now, you know me, been researching this for 40 years. If there's any time I've seen a crack in what I would call our republic, it's right now. So you better, I'm telling people, get educated, figure out what you can do to protect yourself, because something is coming down and it ain't going to be pretty, folks.
Yeah, I mean, we see, the college campuses at UC Berkeley, what happened there, these bonfires that are taking place across the country. You got Yale now taking on, as part of Black History Month, their champions now are the Black Panthers. And you go, what got mistranslated in history that you would want to honor the Black Panther Party?
Well, here's the point. Why do away with historical monuments? They may not be perfect. I mean, Bill, if they did a monument of you or me, they may find out 100 years later we weren't perfect.
Right.
So why are they, again, I look at those things, and I may not disagree with some of the monuments, but it's history. Deal with it. Educate people, but it's like, as I talk in my book, Battlefield America, Orwell's theory. George Orwell, who wrote 1984, it's a bestseller, by the way, now. People are finally waking up and reading it.
Yeah.
He said that what they were going to do in the future, they were already doing it in his time, he thought. They were limiting the amount of words and thoughts we could have, which means it limits what we think and how we deal with things. So we're seeing it across the board. There's certain words. Listen, one of the biggest solid professions now on college campuses is psychiatry. 25% of American college students now have been diagnosed with a mental disease. I don't know if you saw that report.
No, I didn't see it.
But you know what it is? They heard a word.
Yeah.
And they're crying. I had a lady the other day who I've known for years, intelligent lady. She has two daughters. She says, I'm so worried about Trump. And I said, well, what's he done now? She says, my two daughters can't sleep at night because of Trump. And I said, but why? And she couldn't tell me why.
Right, exactly.
So there's this image that's been planted in our brains and agitated and stuff like that. And I'm saying planted, and we see it with this Flynn situation that's occurring, but there's this.
And I want to get into that a little bit more, John. Once again, we're reminded that it's never the act as much as it is the lie, is it?
I agree. Yeah. And what I'm trying to tell people is, listen, you know me. I've sued the president. I've sued government for going on 40 years. I've been in and out of Washington, D.C. I've dealt with former NSA agents who tell me, they sit down and talk to me, and they say, John, it's worse than you think inside government. Mm-hmm. It's much worse than you think. And I know agents who are living on borders now, and they have planned escape routes. They tell me this.
Right.
They could actually walk across the border and they're out of America. Mm-hmm. They're nervous about what might be occurring. It hasn't got anything to do with Trump. It's the government that's already been there for many, many years. If you know, it came out during all those emails of Hillary Clinton. This FBI memo was leaked. It's talked about what they call the seventh floor group, this thing called the deep state, which runs the country.
Yes.
Basically. That was the FBI saying that. So there's a lot of things going on that if you're watching the nightly news, you're not listening to people like Bill Martinez who hits real issues and some of the other so-called alternative news sites. Mm-hmm. You're going to be asleep.
Exactly.
So you're going to have to wake up, start listening, and seeing what, again, if you want to just discuss the Flynn thing, we can for a few minutes. Here's the thing, and I know this to be true. Everything that you do, whether you're a government official, you or I, online, on our phones right now, is being watched and recorded. They're creating algorithms. Amazon, all those groups are watching everything we're doing. They work with the government. Amazon built a $600 million intelligence cloud for all the intelligence agencies. They work with the CIA, NSA. When you're buying stuff from Amazon, you're going and watching Amazon movies. They're creating a profile, what they call a psychological profile of you now.
Right, exactly.
So I'm surprised when Flynn's making a phone call or doing emails, he didn't know people were watching. Yeah. And we're going to report it. I mean, it seems like, well, do I want to say a lapse in intelligence?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm just, when I see these things, I'm going, what was Flynn thinking was going to happen?
Right.
They're listening to everything you're doing, folks. Again, the police have Stingray devices, Department of Homeland Security. They're little devices that the police car, they act as fake cell phone towers, they drive in front of your home, they get all your information.
Mm-hmm. And who knows, he could have been on a directive by the president. By the president, and, but all this stuff, unfortunately, like you said, it got leaked out, which was illegal, and technically, you've got, Flynn is not part of the government. This is before he becomes officially part of the government. He's a private citizen like you and me.
Yeah, they're watching everything you're doing. I'm telling you, it's getting worse. Most of your major chains now, like Walmart and stuff, they're getting ready to put facial recognition cameras on the entrance doors. They're going to be studying your face when you walk in. Look at the ceiling in your store when you walk in. If those little black, they're called globes, those are the surveillance cameras. They're watching everything you're doing, and they're reporting it to the government, by the way.
Well, Big Brother is here.
Big Brother is definitely here. Big Sister.
Exactly, no doubt about it. Our conversation with John Whitehead with Rutherford Institute continues. I know, and every once in a while I will make that mistake, John, so forgive me. I will transpose those two because the Rutherford Institute and John Whitehead are they're so branded, so forgive me.
He's worse things.
He's a constitutional attorney, and we've got more from John on the other side of the break. Stay with us, America. This is Bill Martinez. We're live 15 minutes after the top of the hour right now.